Hi everyone, it's Zoe here from Living with a Sleeve. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining me for another Facebook Live session. Today I really wanted to just have a bit of a chat about how to eat after surgery, because I think that's one of those things that people really struggle to adapt to for good reason. It's a big change to what you are used to, and it's something, I guess, that when you're on the side of before surgery is difficult to comprehend until you actually get to the other side where you've had the surgery. But if you can get your eating habits right, you're going to be most comfortable when you eat your food. You're going to maximize your weight loss because you'll minimize your appetite and manage your appetite really well. So it really is a very, very important thing that we get used to and that we keep working on. And it's something that is a habit. So it's something that takes a long time to change. If you've eaten a certain way all of your life, it can take months and months to actually change those habits to suit the sleeve a little bit better and to make you feel more comfortable. So I just wanted to go through with you a few tips and the things that I think are the most important, things that have just been popping up again and again in the clinic lately. So I thought we may as well discuss it again. I know I've mentioned some of these before, but they are really the most important bits and pieces when it comes to eating habits, to making the most out of your sleep in the long term. So the first thing really is, before you actually eat, I need you to ask yourself if you're hungry. A lot of the time we eat for other reasons other than hunger, so boredom, stress, appetite, like because of thirst. Maybe we're tired, maybe we've had a crap day, maybe we're procrastinating. So what I need you to do is actually go, you know what, am I hungry? Is my stomach empty physically? Is it grumbling? Does it feel empty? Do I need to eat? Has it been at least 3 hours since I've eaten? Because if it's been less than 3 hours, it's unlikely that you're actually hungry, or what you ate last time didn't stay with you for long enough. So we need to look at the food choices that you made. So first things first, am I actually hungry? If yes, great, what do I want to eat? But if no, why do I want to eat? And what else can I do to distract myself? For it, sometimes just 5 minutes is enough to distract yourself, so that then you can reset and get rid of that craving and that sort of automatic reaching for food. So the next thing is, along the same lines of am I hungry, you can measure your appetite on a scale of 0 to 10. So what I like to tell some of my patients is that think about 0 as I'm so starving I could eat my own fingers, and think of 10 as I'm so full I want to throw up. So that Christmas Day lunch kind of full. We want to try and keep your appetite between a 3 and a 7. That means that if you are about a 3, you're hungry but you're not yet starving. If you become starving, that's when you make a mistake the next time you eat, and you eat too fast or you eat too much because you are too hungry. So we call that the hungry bear syndrome, when you walk in and you just can't stop yourself from eating too quickly and eating everything inside. If you get more full than a 7, you're eating more than you need. So 7 is like, I feel full, but I'm not quite full yet, but I'm satisfied. So really we want to stay between a 3 and a 7 out of 10. The third thing is, serve yourself small portions. So don't even tempt yourself to overeat by putting too much on your plate. Start with smaller portions and know that if you finish and you're still hungry, you can go back and have a little bit more. 9 times out of 10, you won't actually go back and have a bit more. So get small bowls, small plates, use ramekins, use small cutlery, so use teaspoons or dessert forks rather than big spoons to eat, because that'll slow you down as well. And this is the bit that becomes really important. So this is tip 4, is focus on how you eat. So use those small mouthfuls, like thumbnail size mouthfuls. Half a teaspoon is sort of a good guide in terms of mouthfuls. And the harder something is, the smaller the mouthful needs to be. Chew your food really well before you swallow it. Rest between each mouthful. So I'm going to cut my mouthful, I'm going to put it in my mouth, I'm going to chew, I'm going to swallow, I'm going to put my knife and fork down, and I'm going to rest. So that you take about 20 to 30 minutes to eat your meal, and actually savor it and enjoy it, and think about all the tastes too, because you're not able to eat a lot, so you may as well enjoy what you are eating at the time. The fifth tip If you struggle to slow down, so ideally we want you to take 20 to 30 minutes, we want you to take those small mouthfuls, we want you to chew really well, but if you struggle to slow down, some tricky little things that you can try: swap your knife and fork over. You become really uncoordinated and it takes you a while to cut your mouthfuls. So if you normally have your fork in your left hand, put it in the right and put your knife in your left. You can use those small cutlery like the dessert fork or the teaspoon, because it forces you literally cannot put a large amount of food on a teaspoon. And you can use an app to help you slow down, or a timer on your phone. So there's an app called Eat Slower, and I'll link to it in the comments once we're finished with the live. But it's a great app because it acts as like a little timer and a reminder. But you can set the same thing up on your phone. Set an alarm or a timer that goes off every 30 seconds to a minute, depending on how far after surgery you are. If you're soon after surgery, within the first few months, I'd say set it to a minute, and then wait until it goes off every minute before you have another mouthful. And it will seem ridiculously slow to start with, but you will get used to it, and you won't obviously need to use the timer every single time you eat a meal forevermore. It's just slowly getting used to how the timing works and what suits you the best. I had a patient come in the other day and he said he sets his timer, if it's a harder food, he sets it to sort of 2 minutes per mouthful, and that's helped him to be able to tolerate some of those tougher foods. Number 6 is do not eat in front of a computer or the TV or your phone or a book or a paper. I know it can be annoying because it's 20 to 30 minutes to eat a meal, but if you are distracted, you are less likely to enjoy your meal, and you are more likely to miss those cues telling you to stop, telling you that you've had enough, or telling you that you've gone a little bit fast. So really slow down, concentrate on what you're doing, and try not to eat in front of the TV. A lot of people struggle with eating in front of the TV, especially at night time, and that's when more of the junky kind of food goes in. So setting a rule for yourself that you don't eat in front of the TV, I think, is one of the most important things that you can do, and one of the most positive things that you can do for yourself in the long term. Don't eat and drink at the same time. So this is number 8. If you're eating and drinking at the same time, you're most likely to make yourself sick, especially if you have accidentally overeaten a bit. The last thing you should do, even though it seems like the logical option, is to take a sip or two of water, because it's like having a full water bottle and then you have a full water bottle, you put it under the tap and you try and fill it up with more water. What is going to happen? It's just going to pop out the top, and that's exactly what happens after the sleeve as well if you try and drink after you've eaten a meal. And on that note, my final tip is really just make sure that, because you can't eat and drink at the same time, that you're sipping in between your meals. This has been coming up a lot lately as well. People aren't getting the fluid in that they need, and that means that they're feeling thirsty, but instead of drinking, they're eating. So they're taking on more calories than they need as well. It's disrupting their appetite. It affects your bowels. If you're dehydrated, you're more likely to be constipated. You're more likely to feel hungry. You're more likely to be tired, and so then be reaching for things like coffee or soft drinks or sugary foods to pick you up again. So if any of those things sound like you, drink as much as you possibly can during the day, and the only way that you're going to get that in is to sip, 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 sip. Literally feel like a little sipping machine. Always have a bottle with you or a glass of water with you so that you can get that fluid in throughout the day. So a little bit of a recap. It really is important to get your eating habits right. So to start with, first thing is ask yourself if you're hungry. Second thing, try and keep your appetite between a 3 and a 7 out of 10. Serve yourself smaller portions, and then focus on how you eat. If you struggle to slow down, try some of those tips like swapping over your knife and fork so you're eating with the wrong hand, or use the Eat Slower app, or set a timer for yourself to make sure that your meal takes 20 to 30 minutes to eat and your mouthfuls are nice and slow. Finally, don't eat in front of the computer or the TV TV or your phone, and don't eat and drink at the same time, but do drink as much as you possibly can in between your meal. So I hope that's helped. As always, any questions, please just post them either in the comments here or send me a message on Facebook, post on my wall, and we'll be able to get to them. I hope it's been useful. It's just things that have been coming up a lot with some of my patients in the clinic over the last few weeks. So I thought we'd address it again, and I'll post the link to this. I wrote a blog post on this as well, and I'll post the link to that blog post in the comment section on this video too, so you can have a look there. Any questions, let me know, but otherwise have a fantastic week, and I'll chat to you next Wednesday. Cheers guys, bye.